Today is March 27th, 2025. My name is Melissa Ackerman, and I will be interviewing Robin Raxlin Gormley. How are you today, Robin?
I'm good.
This is part of our JFS oral history project for the 75th anniversary.
Nice.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
When were you hired by JFS?
I was hired December 2007.
Okay, and for what position?
Case manager in older adults.
Okay, and what is your title now?
Senior Director of Special Programs.
And what kind of things do you do under those special programs?
So special programs includes hunger relief and emergency assistance.
Mm-hmm. And why did you go to work for JFS?
Well, I met my husband who lived in Dallas and I was living in Toronto, and we met in New Orleans, and I decided to kind of take a chance and move to Dallas, and JFS hired me on the spot, so I moved to Dallas from Toronto, Canada, and my second day in Dallas I was working at JFS.
Oh my goodness. So what was your background?
So my background at the City of Toronto, I worked in social services. I was a caseworker for the City of Toronto.
Okay. And were you at this location on Arapahoe? Or?
Yep,
Okay.
I was at this location on Arapahoe.
And what lay people did you work with over the years?
I've worked with Debbie Weiner. I've worked with everybody. So Ariella Goldstein, even Sherry Portwood, may her memory be a blessing. And just Michael Fleischer, Janine Pullman. I've worked with so many people.
Mm-hmm. And who were some of the volunteers you've worked with over the years?
Melissa Ackerman, Gloria, may her memory be a blessing. There's so many volunteers. Helen Feldman, miss her.
Mm-hmm.
Lane Hankin, miss her. Eileen, miss her. Lots of different volunteers.
Okay. And did you work with any committees? Have you worked with committees?
I've
during this
worked
time?
within JFS. There were several different committees
Which
that I
ones?
worked with. I did DEI for a little bit. I'm on the Quality Control Committee. Back in the day, there was a Special Needs Committee. There was, oh my God, so many. Social Committee.
What programs and services have begun and ended and evolved during your time with JFS?
So during my time, resettlement, I worked in resettlement for a little bit. That ended. The case management program has really evolved here. It was just me as the case manager and the financial assistance person when I first started, and now there's a whole team. So you really see the growth. In the food pantry, I took over, I can't remember, Jean Sturman, may her memory be a blessing. And the pantry was just small. I call it small at the time, but mighty. And then it's grown into something extraordinaire now, with serving over 10,000 individuals a year. So
That's amazing. Do you remember what it was when you started?
I think when I started, it was 2,100 a year, maybe. I remember, if you remember, like a busy day would have been like 35 families. Whereas now a busy day is like 120 families.
Oh my goodness.
So the growth of that program alone has been incredible, and also the growth in the volunteer department has been incredible. We have the most volunteer retention now than we've ever had. It takes over 100 volunteers a week to even run and operate just the food pantry.
Seeing that many clients.
Yeah. So it's.
What do you actually do in the food pantry?
In the food pantry, I'm there to provide. I'm obviously a manager and a leader, so I create the strategic goals for the pantry, and I lead the staff And then when I have to get on the front lines, I get on the front lines. But it's
troubleshoot.
Troubleshoot is, lots of things happen. But it's really about making sure that the program has what it needs to be able to function and operate, and being able to lead people, and so that we retain people, and also that it helps the volunteers, it helps the clients, and it's managing all the logistics around the program, from staffing to food sourcing to volunteers, and generally a lot of the administrative pieces, because there's a ton.
What changes in the Jewish community have occurred and influenced how JFS responded to that community need?
So I think what I have noticed, the changes, when I first started as a case manager, or even in the food pantry, people were afraid to come for help. And now I'm seeing people, through all of the different relationships we have in the community, from the clinical department to the Korean Financial Services department, I see more Jewish people saying, I have a need, I need help, and coming in to get the help. That's huge. So the numbers of who we service grows.
Do you offer kosher food for?
Yes, we have the kosher. We have our kosher pantry that provides those traditional staples and the meats, which is the most important thing for the families. But also all the food in the food pantry now, over probably 85% of it is hechshered. So not only can someone get the kosher food, they can get so many other things and have access to the fresh produce and all of that we have.
So you've seen the clientele shift over the years?
What I've seen is those who were afraid to say, I need help, are now feeling connected to JFS, where they will come in and get the help that they need. So our arms are obviously, over the last 17 years, have really stretched out into the community.
That's great.
Yeah.
What were some initiatives to try to increase interest in Jewish Family Service and its mission? How have you gotten the word out?
So I think we have a fantastic marketing department, and I think it's just building relationships in the communities over the years, whether it's with big organizations or small ones, or just the people themselves and the volunteers. The volunteers are our biggest source of what's what I'm looking for? Like, they're our mouthpiece too, right? And so they see the work that we're doing. They see the impact that we're having. So they're going out into the community and telling their family and telling their friends, and all of that makes such a difference.
How did the agency respond during COVID
How did the agency respond
in your area?
We had to pivot. That's my word. We just had to pivot. The agency always thinks about staff and safety and all of that first. But for the pantry, there was a need that we needed to address, even with the dangers and all of the noise that was happening with COVID. And we opened a drive-through line, and we masked up, and we made sure we were doing all the protocols, and we just shifted what was happening outside into a different model. But what was great about that is that while we were serving outside, inside we were going through the expansion to get more space, because we knew that we needed more space anyways. So COVID just forced the issue, and we were able to address the Jewish community and the community at large with our drive-through line that we did for about 2 years.
How many people do you think you served during that period? Or families, or whatever,
I think
however way you count it?
individuals, I think, what was the number? Over 30,000.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
And the lines were
The
wrapped
lines
all
were
around the
wrapped,
neighborhood.
and it was a moment that I'll never forget, and how the team really pulled together to make it work, from logistics to safety to food sourcing. All of our partners really worked together, so that was great.
Wonderful. In relation to your time at JFS, what are you most proud?
Most proud of? I'm really proud of how this organization supported the growth of the food pantry and supported, and I'm really proud of how the team was able, and I was able to lead the team in growing that program to what it is today. But I'm also proud of the people that I work with, from leadership to staff to volunteers, because they are such a huge support system to me.
Mm-hmm. Have there been any challenges that you've faced during your time with the agency?
There's always challenges. With change, there's always challenges, but you know, you just have to take it one day at a time.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Memorable moments or highlights that you want to talk about?
I loved the food pantry expansion. I loved just being able to create something that was nothing and just see it come to life in real time. I loved the collaboration with Toyota.
How was that?
They really helped streamline things. You know, I think we always get stuck in the way of how it was done,
mm-hmm.
and they helped come in to show a way of how you can serve more people if you just do these little kind of intricate steps,
and it
works.
Of an efficiency
an efficiency
plan.
system, and it really works. So I'm very proud of that. That was a great collaboration.
Mm-hmm.
When I was doing older adults case management, I loved going to meet people where they're at in their homes, and I was very proud of the relationships that I was able to develop with the families that I was working with when I was doing that.
You don't still do that anymore, do you? Don't have time?
No, I like to say I'm on the front line, but I'm off the front line, right? So I always like to make sure that my team knows I'm there. And doing the actual work sometimes is a great break from, there's a huge administrative piece to what happens in my world. But
what's your job going to be like in the new building? What's the pantry or any of the other things that you're involved in? How is that going to be?
That's to be determined.
Okay, but there will be
Yes.
a nice size food pantry.
There will be a larger pantry. There will be more efficiencies. We're going to add programming, more kind of medically health-based programming, and we're going to have more volunteers. And I have all these great ideas of like Costco little tasting stations area. Like I just have all these ideas that I'm going to put pen to paper and then implement it in a strategic way.
Oh,
yeah.
Exciting. Can't wait to
very
hear about
excited.
that.
Very excited.
So what is something about JFS that is not commonly known that you want the community to know and understand?
I think that people need to understand that JFS, while we help the community and we help the volunteers, they help staff too. Like, they understand things happen. And it really is like a family. And Kathy's done a really good job of keeping Michael Fleischer's legacy and keeping it like a family.
Any other staff that you work with a lot that you value?
I love. I love Michelle Cannon. I love my own staff. I love Nolan and Jason and Max. These guys are really dedicated, and they love even the grind, because it's a grind. Working in distribution is like working a 40-hour week. Like it's a grind, but they come back and they do it, and I love them so much. And I love Michelle Cannon. She's just...
What is her job?
She's the volunteer manager, and she really... I've never seen someone who cares so much about the volunteers and really hears them and listens to them and implements things. It's really cool.
Lastly, describe the value of JFS to the Dallas Jewish community.
I think the value of JFS to the Dallas Jewish community is that we are unique in what we offer, and that we are the only place in town for people who are Jewish that really do need a step up. Mm-hmm. And we walk together, right? We do it together. And I think that the community, why we're getting more people in the community coming to us, because I think people feel it and they understand it.
Thank you so much, Robin. I really enjoyed talking to you.